Yeah, so fun fact. Oh, what are the statistics? Because they are a magnet on my fridge currently. But I wrote an entire paper in college about how smoking severely affects specifically femme-identified people in the LGBT community because of minority stress. I wrote an entire thesis paper on minority stress and the effects that cigarettes have
It's true. We've talked about this many
on
times.
queer
Yeah.
people's health, and here I am still smoking. So yes, I have written academic papers on this before, but it doesn't really matter because I still have to live my life. So here we are. Welcome to America. It's so true. Oh my god. Yes, those fucking stockings!
Well, these are fucked up. I actually have two pairs of stockings.
Oh my
so-
god.
Holy shit!
I bought these at Rite Aid, and I thought they were like up to here, and they're only up to there. So I'm glad I bought a backup pair of nudes.
Girl, they look so good.
I basically sat down with Hani and talked about how I wanted to start some sort of like drag, like open mic night type of thing, just so like people could showcase whatever they were working on or that sort of thing. Because I had seen something similar in Pittsburgh at the Blue Moon down there. They had like a weekly sort of thing like that. So I was like, hey, let's start something like that in Harrisburg. And it just grew into this monstrosity.
Sunday best nightly news, real news all the time. Why? What have you heard? It's a very long tagline. Oh, these are the first editions. We made these for our
Yes.
first show ever. That's why we still have them.
We upgraded to like pulp board for our next ones.
Oh yeah, here's the original ice creams. We made
Yes.
these in like February 2015. Here they are 3 years later.
Yep.
Well, I remember coming up with the name Sunday Best on like a scribbled napkin or something at some point because I was just fooling around with the idea of food because it's definitely a personal interest level for me. I'm very I have a lot of food fetishes, if you will.
Because when we started the show, the club that we were at could actually only have us on a Sunday night, so it actually worked in our favor.
Come out in your
so-
Sunday best.
But then we added the ice cream pun, so like it's actually Sundae, but it was also on Sunday night, so
I don't know what to
Put your wig on, that's what you should do.
do. You know what? I am a good Christian woman, so I'm not going to say anything unless I really mean it. Shut up, whore.
I'm Jade DeVere, and I'm playing Miss Candy Pimpernel. I have personality, which means a flat chest. I found out Saturday that they needed someone, so here I am a week later doing a show.
I am Felicia O'Toole as well. I'm getting married. Are you possibly murdered? I don't know. Apparently it's a murder mystery, so I might get murdered, so I'm kind of nervous about that. But...
That's rarely a good thing.
Oh shit, now I have my lips on. I can't drink my soda.
Oh.
Whiskey. I mean my soda.
Guys.
I created Felicia kind of like as a character at first, like she's her own person sort of thing. But through the years, I've kind of found that, like as you were saying, like it's kind of become intertwined with like my personal life a lot. So I've done like a lot of like soul searching and like exploring with gender. I think it still is pretty separate for me. But I've learned a lot about myself through dressing up in drag. And just like, I've always found it as like a great vehicle for me to explore different facets of my personality. Not even like gender wise, but just like, I feel fearless when I'm in drag. So I take a lot more risks and I just say whatever the hell comes to my mind. And that's something that I don't normally do in like my personal life. I'm a very calculated person. But in drag, it's very freeing for me.
Well, I am Maxwell Treats, and tonight I am playing Detective Clark Finnegan. Although, since we've always emceed, I feel like every character that I do, at least, is always sort of that like straight man who's leading the audience through the world and trying to tie all the pieces together. So that's mostly what is happening tonight. Again. Well, for me, drag and my personal gender identity have always been pretty intertwined. I know that a lot of people feel apart from their drag personas or characters, but I think I've struggled sometimes as an artist because my drag isn't really a character that's consistent so much as it is just a reflection on how I'm feeling at that point in my life and the sort of stuff that I want to put out there as a performance artist. So I don't think I have a very strong drag character per se, because it's always just kind of based on what ideas are going around in Hani's head. It's not so much about treats as a personality, I guess. But they're very connected for me. And I'm a very gender fluid person, so my drag is always kind of fluctuating as well, I think. Because I know you in drag very well, and I also know you personally pretty well. I mean, do you identify, like, I know you identify as being demi, so I consider you to be on, like, the trans spectrum as well, but do you see yourself there?
Yeah, I mean, I see myself somewhere on the trans spectrum, but not, like, I don't experience, and, like, I've never experienced dysphoria in any sort of way.
Which is interesting.
I've never, like, I've been like, oh, I don't want to take this off because I look amazing, but it's not, like, anything having to do with, like, my gender identity.
Which is amazing, because you almost have, like, two identities that need to be recognized. Like, they both need to be recognized for you.
Yeah.
But they don't ever merge. Wow, she is green today. I'm so sorry.
I'm stepping up my highlighter game. So see how it shimmers and shines.
Tell us it's a boomerang. I said, tell us it's a boomerang. Okay.
We've gotten so many messages from people, like in the area, wanting to know how to get involved and that sort of thing. So it really does put everything out there for people to kind of see what we do and want to join in on the fun.
First up, we have Miss Felicia Toole. You may applaud and hoot. Next, we have the one and only Maxwell Treats. And finally, this lovely Miss Belladonna Ouija.
I am playing Aunt Cassandra Moonflow. I am Felicia's aunt, and I, have multiple talents, and one of those talents is being a psychic medium. And there are people who, judge my gift and don't believe that I'm really a psychic. But it's all true. It's so true. I am Madame Cassandra Moonflow, very renowned in the circus circuit.
Oh my god. I just started picking through, like, all my Christmas decor. It's like, I don't know, too much. Is it? Or not enough?
It might not be enough, honestly.
It's like a good luck charm. Lindsay got it for me.
Oh.
And it's functional.
Yeah.
Turns out you actually can comb your hair with it. I was like, okay girl, like I'm dressed in drag like everyone else here, so like that's not really anyone's business. But
Right.
whatever. I just like to think my tuck is extra tight, but hey.
Well, it is, always.
Snatched. Drag for a lot of people, and for me too, is definitely just an outlet, like a way to, no matter what, how outgoing you are in real life, I feel like drag is always a chance to just magnify everything to the, millionth degree.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely is really freeing because you feel, and it's kind of dangerous, like sometimes you put your body through a lot of things physically or mentally when you're in drag because you do really feel invincible, and then when you take everything off you realize that you're just a mortal like everyone else.
Oh yeah, I used to duct tape my boobs together so I would get like cleavage, and it would give me like blisters every time, but I'd still do it. I don't know. But after like a 6-show weekend, it's like, Monday hits and you're like, why the hell did I do all of that?
Yeah, I mean, drag destroys every part of your body. It destroys your face, it destroys your hair, destroys your feet,
Yup,
destroys your hands.
My toenails are destroyed.
Yeah, it definitely takes a toll on you.
It's like a little Harrisburg thing. It's like our own little. I mean, of course, you want everybody else to see it too because it's great, but it's cool because it is in Harrisburg, and I love the fact that it's never was at the same place because then you see all these different parts of Harrisburg. Like we were at the Improv Theater one time for Heavy Petting, and I thought that was a great show. And that's all the way up in Midtown, and then now we're downtown at a theater, that's pretty well known. It's totally weirdos are welcome. Like everything is a little, like nothing is on, it's a little off-center purposefully, but in such a great way. And it lets you in yourself, whether, you're just kind of like sitting giggling or getting really into it and going up and answering questions is like it lets your inner weirdo out because everything else is so out in the open. Everybody else on stage, even though they're in costume, seems so vulnerable, and that's what makes it so like almost in a way warming. If you've never been there before, it's just like you walk into this extravagant like circus tent. You're just like some small town kid, husking corn, and you walk in and it's just like all these things that you've heard of and you've never seen before, and it's like magical in a way, but then like you want to quit and join the circus too. You want to.
It's everything we wanted to hear ever.
Yeah. Oh, hello. I'm Maxwell Treats.
And I'm Felicia O'Toole.
And this is
Sunday Best Variety Show.
Whatever.